side of the boot and to bend it around the last goalkeeper. If he's gone for the toe bug at the near post, that was extremely ambitious. But Bournemouth, of course, talks about their ability on the counter-attack, especially away from home, but leading is a great position for them to be in against Arsenal, who will become increasingly desperate, you would imagine, as the second half goes on, without the real patience to play their way and go through the process longer the second half goes on.
Lewis Cook got himself into trouble and then dug himself out of it and sets Fraser away. Up off Torreira. Ozil. Nelson. Good commitment from Jefferson Lerma, who showed he's got a trick or two as well. A little bit loose from Joshua King.
That was a similar way that Aubameyang gave the ball away for the goal, but King has got some 7 or 8 teammates behind him, and his was also on the halfway line. So plenty of time and numbers to recover the situation.
David Luiz. Granit Xhaka. Socrates.
Familiar pattern emerging at the beginning of the second half. 10 outfield Bournemouth players behind the ball for long periods.
David Luiz asking for a bit of movement. Xhaka. Pinpoint to Nelson. On for Ozil. Mepham was strong and determined and wins the throw.
He's got more assured as the game has gone on. Chris Mepham. Alongside Simpson as well. These two guys have grown into proceedings.
King was surrounded, but still emerges with possession. Lerma steps Stacey away. A little behind Ryan Fraser. Stacey. Lewis Cook. Somehow kept it, and out it goes off David Luiz. Oh, how the locals would love a second here. In from Fraser. Out by Xhaka. Lerma, that's dangerous potentially, and then that's rather daft, and Jefferson Lerma will get his customary yellow card.
Yeah, that was the one certainty from this afternoon, is that Lerma, especially in these conditions, would be booked, and he has been.
Averages are booking every other game.
Well, he's gone for a delicate chip, that's fine, but with Aubameyang closing down, why don't you just play the ball back to your teammate and allow everybody to reset? If that ball is then overhit and then it goes towards the keeper or get out to play for a goal kick, no problem, no harm done.
Well, he was leading the way, Jefferson Lerma, this season, along with Luka Milivojevic of Crystal Palace, with the most yellow cards in the Premier League this season, with 7. That's now number 8. And number 36 in 73 league games in a combination of England and Spain for Levante and Bournemouth.
We had a chat with a couple of our broadcasting colleagues before the game, and we all agreed that was the certainty in the match today. I went for a score draw. We've had 1 goal, so Arsenal need to do something about that to not make me look foolish.
Is Saka. Lacazette. Aubameyang. Torreira wants to get there and then was late. And there will be a conversation at least here from Stuart Atwell, the referee, and some paperwork to go with it.
Yeah, he was making up ground, wasn't he, Lucas Torreira? A long way to go. In the end, he almost didn't quite fully commit to the challenge. I have a feeling he actually tries to pull out. Oh, no, he doesn't. Our angle wasn't great. This was a much better one for the referee, and that's why it's an easy decision to make for a yellow card. It wasn't a full-blooded swipe, however, at the ball.
Well, two of the more lively customers, perhaps, on show today go into the book. Lerma and Torreira within about 60 seconds of each other. Here is the Uruguayan. Back to the Brazilian David Luiz. Saw the run of Aubameyang, so did Steve Cook though. Lerma. Gosling. Joshua King the target and the recipient. And then he's hauled down by Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And it's his turn to see a yellow card.
Been given a run around by Josh King as Maitland-Niles. He actually stumbled and he's not actually looking for the foul or to bring him down. Then I think he just taps him with his arm, desperate to try and recover the situation. King's been outstanding so far today.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the only Arsenal player to receive a red card this season. That came against Aston Villa earlier on in the campaign. In the game Arsenal actually went on to win. Fraser and Lewis Cook plotting from this set play. In from Fraser. Gosling's hovering again, and Leno made sure with the fist.
Doesn't make too many mistakes, Bernd Leno.
Stacey with the throw. No rush from a Bournemouth point of view. First 10 minutes in this second half have been and gone. And the lead is intact. Lucas Torreira. Socrates. Nelson back to Maitland-Niles and on to Xhaka.
Xhaka's usually got that quick turn and the ability to fire the ball 35-40 yards. On occasion he went backwards, and both Aubameyang and Lacazette were looking for that forward pass.
Granit Xhaka, Bukayo Saka, and while it is slippery on this surface, it was casual from the youngster.
He had to be so precise. It was bouncing just as it got to his foot.
He was the second youngest Premier League player last season, behind Fulham's Harvey Elliott, now of Liverpool. Jack Stacey told to get on with it by Stuart Atwell.
I can't imagine it will be too long before we actually see Nicolas Pepe. Probably for the youngster Reece Nelson.
Nelson it is who skips away for Arsenal. Xhaka beats Saka to the ball. Aubameyang. And the pullback could have gone to any number of players. It ends up with Lewis Cook, who took a chance.
Reece Nelson, as I said, he was probably a prime candidate to be replaced. He's now stretching his hamstring, it appears. Stretching, could be his calf as well. He's shaking his leg off, feeling the pace.
Saka taking on Stacey, finding him tough competition.
It's great to give the youngsters a chance, but I think as a new manager coming in, when things have been pretty dire for the football club, you look to your most experienced and most high-profile players to really earn the wages that they are being paid, and big players have got to stand up for Arsenal. I'd be tempted not to have too many youngsters in the team. I know you want freshness and that willingness to do lots of unselfish work, but I think as the coach, as a manager, the man manager that Arteta is now for the football club, he's got to squeeze every last bit out of all the more experienced campaigners and the quality players, the big signings, and Pepe is one of them at the football club.
Well, the age of those on the bench from an outfield sense for Arsenal: 27, the oldest, Mustafi; 24, Pepe; and then Mavropanos, 22, Guendouzi and Willock, 20, and Emile Smith-Rowe, just 19.
Yeah, Pepe at 24, he's a mature player. He's not been at this in this league for long.
Nelson seemingly okay, having pulled up, as you say, just to check the legs out.
Yeah, formation-wise, it's no change, of course. Pepe is more likely to come in onto his left foot, of course.
Aubameyang fizzes it across towards Lacazette. Steve Cook in the way. Granit Xhaka. David Luiz. Arsenal trying to build the pressure on Bournemouth here, which is instantly released.
Yeah, tough one to take. That pace had to be to get through a couple of players. Aubameyang just not able to take it as it bounced up and skipped over his right foot. If you were to make that change, sorry David, I would actually keep things as they are formation-wise, as I said. So keep Lacazette through the middle and Aubameyang on that right side. And you know what, big players as well, I think they should be clever enough to interchange, change flanks when things are not going well for you on one side.
Ozil, Aubameyang, and it just drops for Ramsdale. Stacey went with Arsenal's main man.
Yeah, once again, the greasy turf not doing the Arsenal captain any favours. Lovely ball, isn't it, from Ozil? Which is well weighted, yeah, just that first touch. He just loses his balance slightly and then he's stretching for the ball and can't get enough purchase.
Well, we saw Mikel Arteta, as the cliche goes, kicking every ball, heart firmly on the sleeve. He loves Arsenal dearly and knows that they put a lot of faith in him by installing him at the head of the club.
It's a big gamble, isn't it? And, of course, everybody's looking for that next bright, young, magical coach, the one with the real energy and quality from what they can gather from people in the game. Arteta seems to be the man.
Lerma for Wilson, lovely touch, just couldn't quite angle the finish correctly, and Leno was right behind it.
Yeah, it wasn't a clean strike at all. I think it was actually off target. Leno just falls on the ball. Good pass from Lerma. Yeah, lovely touch inside from Wilson. Yeah, that's going wide. It won't go down as a shot on target. Yes, Arteta is certainly the man for Arsenal. So we're looking for that Guardiola effect, isn't it? But there's a huge difference between the level of quality that Guardiola inherited at Barcelona and has gone on to manage at successive clubs compared to this Arsenal squad right now. The surgery required, you would imagine, in the summer for Arsenal.
Saka. Back to Xhaka. And Torreira on to David Luiz.
And even if it's not surgery in terms of so many new faces, certainly the players will need lots of correction over the next few months, and indeed going into the beginning of the next campaign. Because we're not far off the stage where if Arsenal don't get a good run together between now and the end of January, you can almost write off anything productive. Aubameyang
striding forward. Lacazette helps it on to Ozil. Nelson, Aubameyang! Arsenal finally click into gear in front of goal to give Mikel Arteta something to smile about. On big moments in games like these, matches can turn. I wonder if we've just seen one.
And you hope that it falls to your man in form, your top goal scorer. And Aubameyang certainly is that. Unselfish play, looks for Lacazette. He doesn't get it under control, neither does Ozil. There's Nelson with a shot, falls to Aubameyang. Right man in the right spot. Doesn't have to hit it with so much power. All about the guidance, the direction. And he just sends it past the last man. Yeah, Steve Cook on the line could do nothing about it. Clearly onside. Yeah, that's not a scuff, actually. That's a decent hit. Relief for Arteta.
Well, in the pouring rain, Mikel Arteta now has something to cling to see if his side can turn this game on its head. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with a goal and a yellow card for his celebration with the crowd.
And importantly, David, they've got so many bodies, haven't they, in the box of Arsenal. As Lacazette Aubameyang could have shot to begin with. He was unselfish, played to Lacazette. He didn't get it under control, otherwise I'm sure he would have shot. Then Ozil didn't get it under control, he couldn't shoot. Nelson with a scuff shot, the deflection. Aubameyang is the only one who makes any kind of decent connection. Ends up in the back of the net. Cook, with his desperation to actually get back and help his side, he's played the Arsenal captain on.
Well, the Gunners have never failed to score against the Cherries. This is meeting number 11 between the two sides. And Bournemouth have only ever won once. That game was a come-from-behind victory here a couple of years back. It's Arsenal now who are looking to turn the game around, and they've done some of the job.
You know, without looking at the stats, Bournemouth it's a mixed bag of results against the big teams, isn't it? They've beaten Liverpool here, big comeback victory a few years back. They've beaten Chelsea, of course, at Stamford Bridge, I think 3 times. They've been thumped, I think, by Liverpool on more than one occasion, and Man City have given them a couple of good hidings. You never really know what you're going to get from the Cherries.
Well, we are going to see a change shortly from Eddie Howe. Philip Billing is preparing himself, and Harry Wilson is going to come on as well. Wilson has been their shining light at times this term, and the worry from a Bournemouth point of view is that it's Joshua King who is going to be replaced. He looks okay as he makes his way back to the bench, of course, having missed a fair amount of football in recent weeks. Harry Wilson back from an injury of his own. Joshua King missing 4 Premier League games, having picked up a hamstring injury on international duty recently. And Arsenal will be relieved to see him leave the field.
Yeah, I can only imagine I decided to rest him, or he's maybe just feeling his way back in after the body not holding up for him. And they want to protect him, of course. They have another match in a couple of days against Brighton. And sensible, despite the fact they're at home and they would love to get the 3 points. It's about protecting your players as well at this big stage of the season.
Poor ball given away to Aubameyang. Cook goes with him and keeps him wide. And then Mepham whips it off the boot of Lacazette.
Well, that's surprising. Aubameyang is not able to really get himself towards goal. He was almost driving himself wide in the end. So wide he didn't feel as if he could get the shot in, and the chance was lost.
Saka, as Arsenal look to turn up the heat on Bournemouth. That's at Ozil. Xhaka. Ozil.
They had a good comeback win against West Ham, didn't they, very recently, Arsenal, after being outplayed for the majority of 55 or so minutes. West Ham were leading, weren't able to get the second goal, and it was a pretty impressive comeback to score 3 late goals and dispatch the Hammers. Is that going to happen again for them on their travels?
Yeah, that's the only time since October 2011 that Arsenal have won a match in the Premier League from being behind at the break. Away by Simpson.
Harry Wilson has come to this near side. He's going from the right side up against Bukayo Saka. This will be a test for the youngster. He's certainly not going to run him like Josh King would have run Maitland-Niles on that far side, but he's got a lovely left foot as Harry Wilson. More likely going to come inside and be looking for those diagonal passes, or indeed to be shooting from distance if he's given the opportunity.
Well, since the break, Arsenal have had the majority of possession, 64% of it to be exact. Bournemouth having to be patient to get themselves on the ball and try to produce quality with it. David Luiz, Lacazette dancing his way through, and the block was made crucially to keep Bournemouth in the game.
Well, you may not see a better clearance than that, in fact, all season. Chris Mepham, I think, was it Mepham in the last-ditch tackle? Obama looked odds on to score, didn't he? What a pass from David Luiz. It was only about 20 or so yards, but dissected about 4 players. Big gaps in the Bournemouth midfield.
There's David Luiz. Mepham in the way. Well, we wondered a while ago if Bournemouth were going to grab the second in the game, but it's Arsenal now who are looking to turn the screw. And Bournemouth will continue without Dan Gosling, working his way back up to full pace after injuries. And Philip Billing, who had a knock this week, comes on for the final quarter of the game.
Yeah, this is wisely about protecting your players, especially the ones who have not had much game time in the last few weeks. More big matches ahead. You give those two guys another 10 or so minutes to get into the real speed of the game. Don't be surprised if he makes a final substitution. If you're not searching for a goal, of course, and you're not likely to see a Solanke or Junior Stanislas, more likely Andrew Surman to come in and try and give them a little bit more freshness in the middle of the park. Lerman may not be gambled as well. He's on a yellow card because he's a key player for them in terms of physicality and disruption of opposition play. He's about their best player. I'd like to see him suspended.
Granit Xhaka's just going to get a talking to here, because a number of times now he's committed a foul, then grabbed the ball and tried to throw it away, and Stuart Atwell is losing patience with him in that regard. Harry Wilson. Steve Cook. Forced home by Lacazette.
Arsenal's need is greater, and it's up to them to try and force the issue in the last 18 or so minutes. That's unlucky.
Just a little too much for Fraser to do. Well, he has been a bundle of energy on the touchline, as he was indeed on the field of play. Almost scored on his farewell Arsenal appearance, actually. May 2016, it was a 4-0 win against Aston Villa. Came on after 88 minutes, and his shot in injury time hit the bar and went in off Mark Bunn. He was denied the perfect goodbye in that respect. Cook away from Lacazette, but he was fouled.
It's a close one. Lacazette went to ground. And Steve Cook was already stumbling. Maybe slightly forced to get the free kick.
Mikel Arteta assisted by Albert Stevenberg. Steve Round, part of his coaching staff as well. Two coaches who formerly worked at Manchester United. Kept in by Wilson for Steve Cook. Philip Billing looks to make something of it, and does. Oh, it's there for Callum Wilson, and it was just stolen away at the end. Now Arsenal go searching for a goal of their own. Nelson. Lacazette waits. Mesut Ozil as well.
Should have done better, Ozil. On his right side, never looked comfortable at all, did he, approaching the ball? Wonderful chance to take that on the volley.
And Socrates is down in the 6-yard box here for Arsenal as Bournemouth carry on. Lewis Cook. Harry Wilson, the touch for Stacey, and Arsenal get bodies in the way. They would have been furious had anything happened from that Bournemouth attack.
Yeah, well, if he's not actually that badly hurt, David, he should just roll himself into the goal. Then he can play any Bournemouth player offside. Luis is the last man here. It's a good challenge. He's holding his head. I actually don't remember the incident where he may have taken a collision in the head or neck. And of course the Arsenal players are not happy, but like I said, I don't really recall what happened. You certainly didn't see the incident clearly.
Well, Mikel Arteta with final words before Joe Willock is introduced. It's interesting though that the referee having a conversation here with a few of the Arsenal players, suggesting a little bit of double standards perhaps.
There's that ball from, it's a fantastic tackle. David Luiz dissecting that Bournemouth midfield. Lacazette is frustrated. He felt he should have got his shot off on target. He may not get too many others, certainly not clean ones like that.
Mesut Ozil has left the field and this time kept his emotions in check. Joe Willock on in his place. And what I was just getting to there, Stuart Atwell just making the point to Arsenal players who were fuming that the game carried on with Socrates down, is he's saying, well, you carried on when you were attacking, so why should Bournemouth put the ball out of play when they're doing just the same?
I'll say no more.
Well, you just wonder what the future holds for Mesut Ozil. Although in this game, certainly in the first half, he showed his quality with some incisive passing.
Yeah, I don't like that he's a scapegoat seemingly every game. Arsenal don't perform well enough. Ozil has not earned his wages. He's not played well enough. His body language is poor. Yes, he's not played anywhere like to the level we know he can, but I don't think there's anybody at Arsenal could say that this season. Aubameyang has scored his fair share of goals once again, but sure he is dissatisfied with some of his performances as well.
Well, Arsenal have the ball. They also have a man down in Reece Nelson. Mikel Arteta telling him to either get up or make a big deal of his issue to the referee, and he's immediately got to his feet. Shkodran Mustafi is now getting stripped and ready to come on.
Xhaka has come to left back in the meantime.
Yeah, Socrates is not able to carry on. He's just walking up the touchline here. So Mustafi comes on in his place. He's only actually made one Premier League appearance this season. That was the 2-2 draw at Norwich at the beginning of this month. This is where Socrates got hurt. Seemingly it was the body of Maitland-Niles that made the contact on the Greek defender. Willock. Lewis Cook went with him.
Yeah, and then he handled the ball as a substitute. Not easy coming on off the bench. 70 plus minutes. Maybe a little bit tired, the guys who started, but a little bit sharper for the next few minutes.
Well, Mikel Arteta said one thing he wanted to bring to this club in his tenure was energy. He wanted the players to show the desire that he showed during his playing days. He's certainly showing plenty of that on the touchline as well.
And I do believe that's the only thing you can really affect in the opening weeks of your tenure, to charge the players up, to get them fired up mentally, so that each game they go out they're feeling as if it's a clean slate. Of course, the wins and the points accumulated, especially on road, I think will certainly help you to speed up that process. In fact, for Arsenal, actually, I think more so than being on the road, they need to get the fans back on side at the Emirates. So those matches at home are super important for Arteta in the first few weeks of his campaign.
Granit Xhaka picks it up for Arsenal. Aubameyang making strides through the middle. This is Lacazette, who has options right and left and looks for Nelson.
There's a nice shot of confidence, Lacazette. Put your foot through the ball, man. You're 5 or so yards outside the box. Got dynamite in that right foot. He's really shot at the moment. Those opening scuffed half chances that he's missed, I think, have really sapped his confidence.
His number might be up shortly because Nicolas Pepe is preparing himself. Harry Wilson, who can pack a punch from that kind of range. Instead he looks for Stacey. Away by David Luiz. Lewis Cook. Fraser. Corner.
Yeah, Reece Nelson was actually struggling to keep up with Lacazette. In the end, he was coming inwards, almost hoping that, you know, his strike partner would score, maybe get the rebound. It was so narrow, the ball was played wide, and once again the chance was lost for Arsenal.
Over it comes, and it's dealt with by Willock.
Yeah, I don't think Arsenal can make that substitution quickly enough, actually. Pepe has to be for Reece Nelson. The young boy's out on his feet.
Last thing he wants to do now is have to defend against Ryan Fraser. Lewis Cook on for Lerma. This is Harry Wilson, looking to put Arsenal on the back foot here. It's opened up for him nicely, and it'll fall to Callum Wilson, but the flag is raised instantly. It will be looked at, of course, but the assistant on this side, Simon Long, had no hesitation.
Yeah, not expectant, is he? Joshua King. This is the Harry Wilson move. I talked about him coming inside. It's an absolute no-brainer on that cultured left foot of his. Yeah, it's not really tight, is it? Easy decision to make. You've got to gamble as a striker like that. You want every possible quarter, let alone half a yard. Good save from Leno, isn't it? When you need a little bit of luck, he gets it with the offside.
Callum Wilson's got a great scoring record against Arsenal. 3 in 5 against them. But that is not going to be added to the tally.
It's a big save, because if Leno doesn't get their fingertips to that strong one, and then there'll be no point to actually look at the offside from Josh King. Big save from the German.
Reece Nelson has left us, and Nicolas Pepe is on for Arsenal for the final 10 minutes or so. Just one goal from open play for Arsenal since his move in the summer.
He even looks younger than 24, doesn't he? Is that how 24-year-olds look, David? He's as young as Nelson, doesn't he? I talked about he's a quality player, Pepe. He just needs just to find the groove and keep working hard enough. I'm sure things will happen for him.
Well, he's doing well there, dancing around and keeping the move going for Arsenal. 8 minutes to find a winner here. But the ball given away to Billing. Mustafi just made sure he was there at a critical time for Arsenal.
That's good cover.
No foul.
And Jack Stacey with some solid defensive work.
Aubameyang towards Willock. And he wins it back again, this time for Pepe, who was stronger than Fraser. Out come the tricks. Backed up by Maitland-Niles.
That's good from Pepe. He's come on and started his cameo in the game as if he's a really angry man. I've been not starting to begin with, and he was overlooked in favour of Reece Nelson.
Aubameyang. Torreira. Good work by Wilson. And now he looks to set Bournemouth on their way. And just left the ball behind. Did all the hard work.
Oh dear.
Oh, and Stuart Atwell here was given a free kick.
Did we miss something? I mean, they're only 20 or so yards away from us. Certainly looks as if Callum Wilson had just lost his footing. That could be fatigue as well. close to running on empty. His first start for a while.
Yellow card here for Chris Mepham, by the way, and I just wonder, Bournemouth players are saying, well, it wasn't him. I think
there was little
conversation. Lewis Cook who made the challenge that the referee wasn't happy with.
There seemed to be one on the edge of the box with Lacazette going to ground. I wonder, just caught it out of one eye, of trying to follow the ball as well.
In from Harry Wilson. Cross from Steve Cook. Billing was hovering. Now Pepe.
Oh, the pass was on.
Lewis Cook caught him that time. Well, the yellow card is out here.
It looked like a scissors challenge, didn't it, from where we were? Yeah, it was. With the left, didn't quite get him. Certainly took him with the right.
Nicolas Pepe looks to be in some pain here.
There was a big hole in the middle of the park. I was saying the pass was on. I thought he was just going to stab it with the outside of his left foot. He chose not to. An extra touch, and unfortunately he's come off in a pretty poor position, it appears. I hope he's not too serious. This guy's a serious man in front of the goal, isn't he? Yeah, that's a culture finish. He knows there's a gap there that Ramsdale is caught in the middle towards the other side of the goal, and just find the corner. He got booked for the celebration, of course.
Well, he doesn't seem too bothered because he knows the goal is important, and that overspilling of emotion just shows what it means to him and indeed to his manager on a day like this. There are still 5 minutes or so plus a decent wedge of stoppage time for one of these sides to go in search of victory, and it's more likely that it's Arsenal who will do so, you would think.
I'm glad you qualified that, you would think, because you're never quite sure about Arsenal slipping up in the last couple of minutes of games. They're desperate. There's desperation to actually get themselves a win and get the new manager off to a flying start. The concentration may dip defensively, and that's all it will take, and they get punished. Seeing games out when you've not actually played particularly well, that's certainly something that's to be admired in top teams, and Arsenal certainly don't have that campaign. So if it's a bit of a grind for the last few minutes, I think Arteta would take that.
Forward by Xhaka for Saka. Oh, he might catch Ramsdale unawares, although the goalkeeper was happy to watch it.
It was a cross, really, and a poor one. A couple of occasions like that in the first half, actually, where he didn't quite get the ball on the bounce or control it and put the ball behind the goal.
That'll spin out off David Luiz. And even though Arsenal have looked pretty dangerous going forward at times in this second half, Bournemouth have had their moments too. Back it goes to Chris Mepham.
They've had lots of the ball, Arsenal. I'm sure we'll get another update on stats possession-wise before the end of the game, but there's not been a move, if you like, a real pattern of play. A couple of players who've consistently troubled the Bournemouth defence. So while they've been in control of the ball for lots of it, they've not really dominated. They've not bullied Bournemouth at any stage, have they? Where you felt like Bournemouth was really rocking from a pattern of play that Arsenal have looked consistently dangerous. In fact, David Luiz playing that ball through the middle has been their most likely option to get something going forward in the final third. This time it didn't quite come off.
61% possession for Arsenal overall in this game. So they have had more of it, but at the moment they'll go home with the same number of points as Bournemouth. Yeah, but there's still time.
Yeah, just under 2/3 is healthy. So without that real confidence in the final third to really pin teams back, and that ability and ruggedness in the middle of the park as well, really, to send so-called inferior sides towards their own goal.
Willock towards Lacazette. Up goes Lerma.
You're not going to get a penalty for that.
It's all a bit messy and scrappy. Saka against Stacey. Mustafi inside the final minute of the 90. Saka. Stacey has to be careful. Saka with power. Almost too much for Arsenal, but Pepe rescues the situation. Maitland-Niles. Challenged by Torreira, who's already been booked.
I'm not sure why Nicolas Pepe didn't just swing the ball in himself. Pretty good left foot, can get the ball up and down so quickly, pace-wise. The ball goes back 10 yards, and Bournemouth can just squeeze up a yard or so. And now come on and really attack the ball, so much easier to defend.
The locals have given man of the match to Steve Cook, by the way, on his return to the starting lineup. There are 4 added minutes.
Jack Stacey in the picture there, it's not been far off. I would imagine the guys do look as if they're going to see out the 90 minutes. Josh King, I think, was excellent up until the moment he departed. They've saved his legs, and hopefully his body will feel okay tomorrow, get ready for the next match against Brighton. They just may get one opportunity, one more, their home side, to steal the extra 2 points on offer.
And it goes from Billing. Simpson was up there. Saka helps it away. And that could turn from defence into attack very swiftly for Arsenal here. Lacazette. They've got numbers over, but they don't have a finish.
Time, wasn't it, from Joe Willock? Great chance for Arsenal to steal all 3 points.
Now, do Bournemouth fancy a winner, perhaps? Ryan Fraser. Wilson waits. Indeed, both Wilsons wait. It's as if they've been told next goal the winner.
Mustafi on that far side's a lucky boy. He dived in on Ryan Fraser. He's going to get a yellow card here.
He may well now get a telling off from the referee for that as well. Chris Metham looks for the space and for Stacey. Uses his strength to win a corner. There won't be many more chances. Let's see if Bournemouth can make the most of this one. Over it comes. Plenty trying to meet it with force. And there was plenty of force in that challenge too. Harry Wilson poleaxed by Lacazette, who may have hurt himself in the process.
That's a yellow, nothing more. I think he's going for the ball, Lacazette. It was always second favourite to get there, but that's bravery from the Frenchman. Of course, he's committed a free kick. Bournemouth will string the ball in the end. Oh, he's actually turning his body, trying to get out of the way. Harry Wilson is, I think he's earned that free kick. He kept his eyes on it. He made decent connection actually, and Billing couldn't take it at the far post.
So Harry Wilson and Ryan Fraser will deliberate, and one of them will deliver.
This will be a real steal, wouldn't it? In truth, Bournemouth did not look like scoring in the second half. It's been largely Arsenal as an attacking force.
Eddie Howe hopes. It's in from Wilson, but it's telegraphed really into the gloves of Leno.
It's ambitious. And really that's poor decision making from Harry Wilson in the dying moments of the game. He's got to give his teammates a chance. I mean, 10 yards further infield, yes, you know, you go for goal, you may just catch Leno unawares. Poor decision.
Callum Wilson there just desperately trying to slow Arsenal down, happy to take a yellow card.
I'll say a point is about all fair today. Arteta will be relatively pleased. Eddie Howe will be, I think, also happy that his team have showed enough toughness at home to grind out the draw.